The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRCMedia, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
This week on FRCMedia News, Fall River's mayoral preliminary election is coming up this Tuesday. We hear from the candidates at two forums held over the last week. Fall River firefighters in the city agree on increasing staffing levels, and facing funding cuts, Viva Fall River is taking a pause. All this and more coming up. It's Thursday, September 11th, 2025. This is FRCMedia News. I'm Keith Tebow. Voters next Tuesday will go to the polls to pare down the race for mayor from 5 candidates to 2 in the preliminary election. Mayor Paul Coogan is seeking a 4th term in office and is being challenged by Gabriel Boomer Amaral, Carlos Caesar, Michael Vandal, and Christopher Sylvia. Mr. Sylvia has suspended his campaign, but his name will still appear on the ballot. Voters had the chance to hear from the candidates at 2 forums held over the past week. The Coalition for Social Justice and United Interfaith Action of Southeastern Massachusetts hosted a forum at Good Shepherd Church last night. Here are what the candidates said they would do or have done to create affordable housing.
I would be in favor as long as it's going to be directed to that community. I think our elderly have gone way too long and been forgotten way too long. So affordable housing for the elderly, those, you're talking about people who worked when minimum wage was $2.75, $3, so their Social Security is pennies compared to what today's people can afford and when they get Social Security. So they seem to be forgotten because they don't seem to have the money to keep up with the Joneses, and that's not fair to them. So affordable housing for them, I would probably consider much easier than just affordable housing just because. Same thing with market rate housing. I don't believe we need any more market rate housing. I think we need to help the homeowners themselves be able to build their wealth, create properties on their own, and I think the rents portion will take care of itself.
The deductions that they receive, because they have to pay it at a certain percentage of their income, 30% of their income. So that should be relooked, because if they have expenses, that means that if they have expenses, it could exceed the rent. So that has to be readjusted, re-looked at from time to time, and be compassionate, because the person's got a limited income. When your income is limited, it doesn't take much to overflow the tub. That's it. When the tub is overflowed, you're going to be evicted.
We're talking with some people that are interested in the old Duval School, where we think we're going to be looking to do something with an over 55 income adjusted rental units there. We're right now in the process of moving on with our Fall River Housing Authority, where we were able to get 20 more vouchers for apartments across the city. We've brought in almost $3 million in home ARP money, which allows us to keep people in their places. We reduced our vacant or abandoned properties from 150 to maybe 40 units. And we recently purchased a 16-room SRO, which means almost like a rooming house on Rock Street, so that we have a place to get people out of the weather and into some place that's warm and safe for them this winter.
I was happy to make negotiations to get one of the mills on the Flint neighborhoods to 55 and older. That was a compromise that I had to work with the owners, and the project is there. And it's a beautiful project. It's 55 and older. But then I had to fight because somebody was building 36 condos right next door, and they had to use the same driveway. More needs to be done. If we really want to our elderly to be safe, we need to provide not just the home they are living, but the surrounding areas too.
The panel members also gave their opinions on what steps to take to ensure students and teachers in school feel safe and welcomed.
At the New Durfee, there's close to 400 or 500 cameras. We have extensive staffing both in the halls with our increased SROs and our security teams. But that goes throughout the district. This week I had the pleasure of going down to the RPA. They have a new principal there. She has a lot of energy, and she's trying to do right by those kids. She had, I think it was the second or third floor was the middle school, and up above was a high school program. There's 160 kids there that we're desperately trying to coach up so they can return to the high school. And the criteria we use is extremely simple: attendance, academics, and conduct. If they're sent to an alternative school, it's their responsibility to work their way back.
I have a chance to talk to some teachers, and they're struggling. They have way too many kids in one class for one teacher. That's why I support the paraprofessionals, because that's a big, big help for the teachers. Attendance, still a problem. You know, remember that we're still recovering from COVID, but still a big problem, the attendance. And then the suspensions too. I bring a kid in the morning, on the afternoon I'm waiting for the kid is not coming out, he's suspended. And believe me, that helps a lot. So, with the funds, I said it before and I'm going to repeat it, and I keep repeating myself. Buildings don't teach kids. Teachers teach kids.
The bottom line is right now, the money is being put to family and friends, administrations, and administrators and big paying jobs. Our teachers are understaffed, our classrooms are overpacked and understaffed, and the money's going the wrong way. Money right now is being put in friends, family, administrators, maybe teachers, then the students. It needs to be reversed. The money needs to go back in the classroom to the students. Go back in the classroom where the teachers need the help the most. You have kids in there throwing computers, violent, hitting each other. And I'm talking low grades. I'm not talking high school kids for RPA and things like that. I'm talking kindergarten, first grade, second grade. I have the pictures, I have the videos, I have the evidence. It's there. So the teachers are doing their best. They are fantastic, but they're understaffed and not staying here for many reasons. They don't have the support, they don't have the funding, they don't have the help in the classroom, and that's where I plan to put the money.
To keep the morale up, to have communication among different parts of the school system, even a radio announcement from the mayor. How was the schools? How could we improve it? Things like that. That when you're talking deeply embedded answers from experience, you're talking direct answers. How to handle the police, what do they do, all their equipment. But from the heart, it would be the communication between the mayor and the school department.
At the Fall River Reporter debate held at the Liberal Club last Thursday, the candidates were asked how they would handle the city's growing budget to ease the burden on taxpayers.
If I make a mistake on your budget, I'm sure that the word father, I'll be able to, down the road, when everything is all put together, that company. If I make any mistakes, I'll put the money back in your budget. So if I do things, make mistakes, I'll make up the difference. So I'll be forming that company. It'll represent 350 million people representing dentistry for the people, for the interest of the United States. And then me as a father, I'll assign that company right to the public.
The money is in a budget. It's just not being spent wisely. With all this new money coming in, but they already coming after us, watch next city council meeting, they already coming after us for more money on the rainwater fee. So, if we have all this money coming in, all these new buildings coming in, where's the money? I agreed with him. I think we both agreed. Where is this money? That's what we're going to find out with the forensic order. When it comes down to city council, one thing that I can promise you is whatever city council decides, I'm not going to circumvent behind city councils. They made the decision, they vote for the people.
Since 2020, new growth has accounted for $40 million real estate taxes has accounted for a $40 million increase in our budget. 20 million of that is new growth.
You're welcome.
That's money we brought in that's coming because people are building in our city, and they're sending their money to the real estate taxes, which is what we desperately need to fund it. Costs across the line in our budget are going up. Our health insurance in the city of Fall River is going up 8.5%. The GIC, which is the state program, is going up by 11%. Insurance, wages, we're now paying our policemen a much more competitive rate, as we are our firemen and our EMS people and our DCM. That increases the budget. These are costs necessitated by having a city that's vibrant and effective. You have to pay people.
It is not in education, and if it is in education, you're dealing with paying off cyber attacks, not telling the people about it. You're looking at DOJ investigations, you're paying attorney fees. That's where the education money is going. Covering sexual assaults, you're dealing with that stuff. It's not going to education. Education has plenty of funding, plenty of money. Tansy is the top performing school in our city. It's the lowest funded. You think it's a money issue? I don't. It's not a money issue. It's not a funding issue. Okay? It's not a funding issue. It's a leadership issue. We have too many chiefs, not enough Indians in our school systems. We don't have enough teachers. We have paras in the classrooms. We've got kids sitting in cafeterias because we can't even get teachers. But don't worry, if you go to the main office to go and find your child because they interrogate them or they have a sexual assault, don't worry about it. There's 55 administrators sitting in the office waiting for you so they can all cover each other's stories. That's what you really get.
They were also asked about plans they had to keep Fall River safe.
We need our full staff on the police department. We need to go back and put patrols on neighborhoods. We need to put the police out there. We don't have enough police. We get reports. Every month I attend all the neighborhood meetings. We get reports. Okay? Those reports is being changed, by the way. Those reports have been changed because the last report that he mentioned that the bike path got 800 calls. Those calls never got reported to the neighborhood groups. Never. I never heard about those calls. But that's another issue. The crime is we have to invest. They're struggling. They already not attending on accidents because they don't have enough people.
When you get into the job as running the police department, you do everything by trial and error. You get acquainted with all, usually the mayor himself gets acquainted. But there's a lot of things coming into the city with the train. There's a lot of people coming in and out. So it's more maneuverable. There's more crime around. There should be around that train station. And a lot of the population is moving around very quickly. So you got a lot of homeless people coming in and out and going all over the city. And it's just a tough thing to monitor, but everything by trial and error. And usually it's the mayor that usually gets learns to experience by actually handling it.
Our police are doing a fantastic job. CAS teams, they're all doing amazing jobs. The courts, not so much in their favor in working with them, but
They're doing a great job. Can they use more? Absolutely. But that's a multifaceted problem as well. We need to make sure that the problems within our police department, the constant nonsense. I mean, we've gone through what? How many chiefs? 4 in the last few years? I think just under this administration, we're at 4 chiefs. So the turnover rate, the inconsistency, all that plays a role with that. Then you got to look at, there's nothing for our kids outside of school. There's nothing for these kids to get into. So violence, trouble, it's going to happen. There's a multifaceted issue. You have to give the people more within the city. You eliminate the crime rate. When you got nothing to do, you're ultimately going to get in trouble. You're going to find a way. Our cops can only do so much. Yes, they can only cover so much ground. Yes, we need more police officers. Absolutely.
We've created our NEAT and our CAS teams, which is a very aggressive form of policing where they go out to where the criminals are before something goes wrong. They have a very, very extensive network of cameras, informants, people that work with them to try to make the city safer. It's a very, very trying time between the amount of weapons that are on the streets, but our police force is doing a great job. We've strengthened our relationships with the DEA, the FBI, and the Mass State Police. They're assisting us with anything they can give us, and there's tremendous coordination across the board to try to clamp down on some of these career criminals. If you notice, when we went into a few of the homeless camps, we were actually serving warrants to people that we were looking for drug dealing, for violence, for things that we want them out of this community.
Polls in Fall River will be open Tuesday from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. at 27 precincts across the city. Those who have absentee or mail ballots must return them to Government Center by 8 p.m. on Tuesday night. If you have yet to decide how you'll vote, visit our special Election 2025 webpage, where you can rewatch 3 candidate forums, short statements from the candidates, and our one-on-one interviews. Visit frmedia.org/election2025. And join us Tuesday night at 8 p.m. as we partner with our colleagues at FRG-TV and Fred TV to bring you the election results. The Fall River Firefighters Association and the city have reached a tentative agreement to adequately staff all fire department apparatus in compliance with industry standards. Staffing has long been an issue within the department. The matter gained extra attention following the fire at the Gabriel House Assisted Living Facility in July that claimed the lives of 10 residents and injured an additional 30.
We went from having 2 trucks, outlying trucks that had 4 members on it, to now 6 pumps that operate within the city that have minimum standards, 1710 standards of 4. The 1710 standard actually calls for more men on the trucks, but we got the bare minimum, and it's about time. We've been fighting for this for about 50 years. Once we get the proper staffing, it's multifaceted. The benefits to the city, the citizens, and to the firefighters. We get to spend less time inside of the toxic environments. We're exposed to cancer-causing chemicals. Most NIOSH reports do cite manpower as significant factors in firefighter and civilian deaths. So just having the extra guys alone will help minimize damage, minimize injuries, minimize cancer exposure, and minimize civilian casualties.
Mr. O'Regan believes if staffing levels were at industry standards, less lives would have been lost at Gabriel House. He says it's unfortunate that a tragedy is often a catalyst for change.
Be it plane crashes, active shooters, or diseases. Things happen which causes people to react and to mitigate the problems. It's shameful and it's sad that the Gabriel House existed in the way it did, and I think that the laws that are going to be passed now are going to change how we do things and how we treat people and how people live, and also how the fire department, the EMS services, and the police departments deal with any emergencies that happen at those facilities.
Over the last 5 years, many community events in Fall River were organized by Patty Rigo and Viva Fall River. With state grant funding coming to an end, Ms. Rigo is moving to a new position, and the future of the organization is uncertain. Viva Fall River started 5 years ago as part of a program to encourage downtown development, funded by Mass Development and its Transformative District Initiative, or TDI. Money for the program has been cut this year. Even though Viva Fall River has funding from other sources, it's not enough to sustain the organization, an obstacle many nonprofits face.
It's not just about money for programs, but it's about money for people, because people are what fuel the programs, and you have to invest in talent. And that's nothing on anybody. It's just that's not a lot of the times how grants are structured. So that's one of the things that at my new job, we're kind of beating the drum about how do we help nonprofits be more resilient, because nonprofits fill in a lot of the gaps that, public services just can't, and the municipal government just isn't tasked to do.
Ms. Rigo has started a new position leading community engagement and communications at the South Coast Community Foundation. Even though event planning is no longer in Viva Fall River's immediate future, Ms. Rigo will still play a role in ensuring the public is informed about great things happening in Fall River.
The reason why Viva started was because I always wanted to come back to Fall River and do something good for the city. And I think even like now going into it and then coming out of it, I still feel the same way. And I'm just happy that I created something that other people can carry on and people believed in. And we're still going to be keeping up the website and social media. So we still want to amplify what's happening here and spread the word far and wide about Fall River. But we just have to take a step back from actually doing the work and being the person who does the events. And so we're looking forward to amplifying and promoting and encouraging all the events and maybe some new organizations and some new people who haven't even come out into the scene yet to join the community. And what can you do? Because everybody can do something.
We'll have more FRC Media News after this.
Hi, I'm Pamela Martin from Fall River Government Television.
And I'm Keith Tebow from Fall River Community Media.
Join us on Tuesday, September 16th for live coverage of the 2025 Fall River mayoral preliminary election.
Our broadcast begins at 8 o'clock from the Fred TV studio at Durfee High School. We're thrilled to have former Mayor John Mitchell joining us once again.
Numbers from all 27 precincts will be broadcast live on FRGTV Channel 18, FRCmedia Channel 95, and the Fall River HD Channel 1072, as well as all of our Facebook pages.
Our camera crew will be canvassing the city throughout the day, as well as the candidates' headquarters.
Polls here are open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Our election commissioner asks you to get out, do your civic duty, and please vote.
And we'll see you on election night. It's that time again in the program where we look at the latest business news and economic development news here in Fall River. I am joined by Kevin Lawrence. He's the editor, owner, and publisher of Fall River Development News on Facebook. Kevin, how are you?
Very well. Happy to be here once again, Keith.
All right, let's get right to it. First on the list, the Veterans Association of Bristol County, which has a location, is looking, I guess, to find more space.
Yeah, they're currently located at 755 Pine Street in the city of Fall River. And according to the latest Fall River Zoning Board of Appeals September meeting agenda, the Veterans Association of Bristol County is looking to move into the historic Tuscan building. This is in the south end of the city, located at 145 Globe Street. The building was actually built in 1887. I know you're showing the pictures to your viewers on the screen. It's a beautiful facility. It's 24,000 square feet in size, and they want to convert a portion of that existing commercial building into a food pantry, along with the operation of a commercial kitchen for purposes of job training and to house the Veterans Services Association of Bristol County. So some office space and a commercial kitchen and a food pantry as well. So we posted that on the Fall River Development News page, got a lot of positive comments, and we'll find out if they get that variance and special permit from the Fall River Zoning Board of Appeals at their upcoming September meeting.
Yeah, I know we've done a number of stories with them in the past. They really do great work for veterans here in Fall River and the region. And their current Pine Street location is very small. And they have a growing food pantry that services dozens of veterans. So this will be a good move for them, have a little more space, and they're able to move on. Next, looking at moving on is a local child care facility. They're seeking a new home.
Yes, this is another one on the docket for the upcoming Fall River Zoning Board of Appeals meeting agenda. The Little Hands College, which is currently located at 332 Brownell Street, is seeking to expand their operation into a larger facility. They're looking to propose a new location on Rock Street, This is at 551 Rock Street in Fall River, a very historic area. It's located in a single-family zoning district. The building was sold back in October of 2024 for $750,000. It was last utilized as a dental office. It features 9 dental stations and 2 operating rooms, and it has a lower finish level. So we'll find out if they're granted the special permit to operate a child care facility at this 551 Rock Street location, which would, I'm assuming, be a very large building in comparison to what they're currently operating in right now. We'll see if the zoning board approves it later in September.
All right, and that would be probably a lease, right? They're not talking about buying the building.
No, it was sold, so I'm assuming they bought it,
Okay.
or someone bought it, and they're going to lease it to the Little Hands College. It changed hands in October, and we'll have to find out if they bought the building or if it's being leased by them.
All right. And finally this week, we like to talk about housing in Fall River. And I think we mentioned this earlier this year. There is some duplexes, I believe 4 duplexes on Durfee Street.
Yes.
And in a very tight location. And it looks like the owner of those duplexes are looking to sell the whole lot.
This got a ton of comments on the Fall River Development News page. This is at 206 Durfee Street, basically in the downtown area. It's a new 4 duplex project. It's called Giovanni Estates. It's been built over the last couple of years. And the reason why we did the story is because these units are up for sale, but not on a single basis. The entire project is up for sale. They're asking $3,300,000. This is according to the commercial real estate website, loopnet.com. It features 8 units in total. It's 4 buildings, so 2 units in each. But if you've driven by there, these things are tightly packed in. They're built back to back to back. And they have garages on the first floor. And if you look at it, there's barely space to drive a car down to the garages to get into your garage if you buy one of these duplexes. So that's what's generating a lot of conversation. People want to know how this was approved to be built here in the city of Fall River, because it's tightly packed.
Yeah, I know. I think we talked about that because I drive down there on occasion, and I remember driving by and like, wow, this is really, really tight. And the first photo we showed, which is the overview, you can actually see there's a car in one of those lanes, and there's a garage to its left. And I don't know how they're going to get in there.
I think you need a compact car if you're going to.
A very small compact car.
Definitely.
All right. You can check out Kevin's work on Fall River Development News, and you can find out all his updates on business and economic news across Fall River. All right, Kevin, we'll talk again soon. Take care.
Thank you, Keith.
Hi, I'm Pamela Martin from Fall River Government Television.
And I'm Keith Tebow from Fall River Community Media.
Join us on Tuesday, September 16th for live coverage of the 2025 Fall River mayoral preliminary election.
Our broadcast begins at 8 o'clock from the Fred TV studio at Durfee High School. We're thrilled to have former Mayor John Mitchell joining us once again.
Numbers from all 27 precincts will be broadcast live on FRGTV Channel 18, FRCmedia Channel 95, and the Fall River HD Channel 1072, as well as all of our Facebook pages.
Our camera crew will be canvassing the city throughout the day, as well as the candidates' headquarters.
Polls here are open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Our election commissioner asks you to get out, do your civic duty, and please vote.
And we'll see you on election night. That's all for this week's edition of FRC Media News. Please visit our website, frmedia.org, for more local news and information. FRC Media News airs Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Fridays at 5:30 p.m. on Channel 95 and the Fall River HD channel located on Channel 1072. For all of us here at FRC Media News, I'm Keith Tebow. Have a great weekend. Make sure you vote on Tuesday, and we'll see you again next Thursday.